Hello and welcome to another session of Let's Learn German. I hope you revised the contents of the previous session, and in this session you are also ready to learn something new and interesting. In this session we are going to start with a vast topic which is also very crucial in German language, which are called prepositions, or in German we call them Präpositionen. Prepositions or Präpositionen, as the name suggests, are words or categories which are placed before the noun or the pronoun. Before we start the prepositions in a detailed manner, let us look at some basic aspects of preposition. A preposition, as I have written here, shows the relationship between a noun or a pronoun to some other words in the sentence. The noun or the pronoun which the preposition modifies will always be either in accusative or dative case. Also, prepositions cannot be changed. I would like to tell you that a preposition only changes the noun or the pronoun or modify it, but it itself does not undergo any other change. A preposition stands usually to the left of the noun or pronoun, and there are also exceptions where a few prepositions can stand to the left or right of the noun or pronoun. In German, prepositions can have also contractions, but there are only few cases which we would do in the other sessions. Now, let us get started with the prepositions. Here, as I have told, there are prepositions which can be either in accusative or dative case. Apart from that, there could be also prepositions in genitive case, which however come at a very later stage. Right now, we are going to do with the accusative prepositions. Now, in this segment we are going to do prepositions which take the accusative case. In accusative there are predominantly 6 prepositions. Now, let us look at these prepositions. Here we have at number 1 für, durch, ohne, gegen, entlang. Now, let us look at these prepositions once again and please repeat after me. Für, durch, ohne, gegen, entlang. Now, we would concentrate on the first two prepositions für and see what are the meanings which they have and how they can be used in a sentence. The preposition für, or in English we call it for, is used to denote a purpose. Now, the word purpose can have many meanings. As an example, I have written here a sentence, das Buch ist für den Test. Now, as you can see, here we have the nominative das Buch für den Test. That means the book is for the test. As you can see, when we add the preposition to the noun test, the article which is there in accusative, there becomes den, and because of the presence of the accusative preposition für, we have here den as the article. So, as we did in the previous segment, a preposition modifies the noun which we have done here. So, the article is modified into the accusative article, and the preposition, as you can see, stands left to the noun. Now, let us look at the preposition The preposition should be familiar to you if you remember that we did it with time or number. Now, you are familiar with can be used to denote a place. Wir sitzen den Tisch. As you can see, the article of Tisch is der Tisch, and now if we say that wir sitzen den Tisch, that means we are sitting round the table. We are modifying the noun from der Tisch to den Tisch. Is also used, as I have written here, for number and also for the purpose of saying time. You are already familiar with the structure that we use preposition to denote time. So, we have here the conference beginnt 19 Uhr. Well, the question, how do we use in number? Well, that is a very special category which we would learn through some examples. Now, let us do an example while using the prepositions für and and see how the nouns or the pronouns change with the use of these prepositions. Now, in this sentence, ist das Buch, we have in bracket two pronouns in nominative ich and du. Now, we have to see which preposition we are going to use, für or Now, we know that book can be used for a purpose, so that we use now here the preposition für. Now, since it is an accusative preposition, we have to now convert the pronoun in accusative, and the pronoun form of ich in accusative is mich, or we use the preposition again and use the accusative pronoun form of du, which is. Now, let us look at sentence number 2. Fährt eine Woche nach Delhi. Here also we can use the preposition für, because it shows a purpose. Das Geschenk, Chef, ist hier. Now, das Geschenk, it means a gift. Now, we need to write the preposition für, and we have the article der, which is a nominative. With an accusative, we know that der changes to den, so which we write den Chef ist hier. Now, if you look at this sentence, you know that it is a question, and you are already familiar with the structure, because it is asking for time, and you know that to say time we usually use the preposition in German wie viel Uhr beginnt das Seminar. Now, look at this sentence. Die Kinder spielen, we have here in bracket the article of the noun Baum. Baum means tree, der Baum, and we know that we use the preposition for a place. So, we have the preposition here along with the article now converted from nominative there to accusative den. Now, again here we have two blanks and we have the sentence Haus ist ein Wald. Ein Wald means a jungle or a forest. Now, we need to first find out that where we put the preposition. As you know, the preposition always comes before the noun or the pronoun. So, we write the preposition, and now we have to convert the article here. You know that das remains das in accusative. So, we have das Haus, around the house is a forest, das Haus ist ein Wald. So, as you can see, if you know the correct meaning of the preposition, you can use it in variety of contexts. Now, let us do a small exercise where the students would write the correct form of the preposition along with the correct form of the noun or the pronoun, and we would see if the answers are right or wrong. Now, let us look at the answers given by the student and see if the answers are right or wrong. Die Stadt sind Berge. Here, the student correctly wrote the preposition because it denotes a place, and also let us do a small correction here. It is die Stadt. So, the student also correctly figured out the preposition die remains die here, and the sentence is therefore correct. Die Stadt sind Berge. Around the city are the hills. Now, in sentence number 2, we have Sie kauft für ihren Sohn ein Spielzeug. Here, the student correctly identified that the preposition is für, which shows a purpose, and also correctly conjugated the possessive article as ihren because of the masculine noun Sohn. So, we have the answer Sie kauft für ihren Sohn ein Spielzeug. In sentence number 3, Bitte gib mir Geld für die Bücher. Here also the student correctly identified that the preposition für should be used because it shows the purpose. Number 4, 9 Uhr beginnt der Unterricht. Here also the student correctly identified that because of the time element 9 Uhr, which is the signal here, we should use the preposition In sentence number 5, die Schüler sitzen den Lehrer. Here the student correctly found out that the preposition is and also I just corrected a small mistake here. The student wrote the article there in den, however, with certain mistakes which I recently corrected, as you can see. So, the answer is also correct. Now, in sentence number 6, ein Fahrrad kostet 2000 Rupien. Here also the student correctly figured out that the preposition is however, again a small error which can be corrected, and as you can see, the answer we have here is which also is used for the context of number. So, as you can see, learning articles is not that difficult if you remember the context and the meanings where they are used. Now, let us look at the preposition durch. Durch is somewhat equivalent to the preposition through in English. However, it is used predominantly for two contexts. One, for the context to show a way or movement, or as an instrument or as a method. Now, let us look at this example for the use of preposition durch as a context of way. Wir fahren durch den Wald. Wald, you know, means forest. The article of Wald is der. However, as the accusative preposition, here there becomes den. So, we are traveling through the forest. Now, let us look at the other meaning of the preposition durch. Ich erfahre die Nachrichten durch die Zeitungen. Here we have the verb erfahren, which means to come to know. Here we have the noun die Nachrichten, which means the news. Zeitungen means newspapers. Now, if you see, here we have the preposition durch as a method or as an instrument to achieve or to gain something. And as you can also see, here the article is die, which is for the plural for the noun Zeitungen, and you know that the article die in nominative remains article die in accusative. Now, moving towards the other preposition ohne. Ohne is similar to the word without in English, and it usually has not got any other meanings apart from this. So, we have the usage here. Sie trinkt Tee ohne Zucker. She drinks tea without sugar. So, we have one meaning here, or we have the other sentence here. Es ist kalt, geh ohne Pullover nicht raus. As you can see, this sentence is a imperative sentence because of the presence of the exclamation mark at the end. So, if we look at this sentence in English, it is cold, don't go out without the pullover. Here also the meaning of the preposition ohne is to show the absence of something. So, ohne is used to show that something exists without something or something is used without something. So, we have therefore, the closest meaning without. Let us look at this sentence. The Kinder laufen das Haus. Here we can use the preposition durch, and you know the article of the noun house is das Haus. Das remains das in accusative. So, we have this answer. Die Kinder laufen durch das Haus. Geht Hund spazieren. Here we have to see that the noun Hund carries the article there. Here we have the possessive article sein, which needs to be converted into accusative. Now, first of all, we have to find out the correct preposition. The correct preposition is owner without, and you know that the possessive article in masculine sein becomes seinen in accusative. So, geht ohne seinen Hund spazieren. He goes for a stroll without his dog. In sentence number 3, ich bekomme die Information, die Nachrichten. Here we are talking about a method or instrument. So, we have the preposition durch, and then you know that the article die of in the plural or in the singular remains die in accusative. So, we will have durch die Nachrichten. Here in sentence number 4, sie macht eine Reise Indien. Now, we know that here it is talking about a way or movement. So, we use the preposition durch. So, I hope with this example it was clear to you how to use the preposition durch and owner. Now, let us do an exercise with the preposition. In sentence number 1, meine Oma trinkt Kaffee ohne Zucker. Here the student correctly identified that the preposition ohne should be used because it shows the relationship that coffee and sugar. Without sugar, the coffee is being drunk. Number 2, wir laufen durch den Park. Here also the student correctly identified that the preposition durch should be used as it shows the way, and the article of the noun park which is there should be converted into den, which is the accusative article, which is correctly written here. Number 3, sie kann ohne Brille nicht sehen. Here also the student correctly identified that we use the noun here Brille, which means spectacle, along with the verb sehen, and associating these two, the student understood that the preposition ohne should be used. Number 4, ohne Führerschein darfst du Auto nicht fahren. Here also the student correctly wrote the preposition ohne by associating the noun Auto with the verb fahren, which means to drive car, and Führerschein means a driving license. So, without driving license you may not drive the car. Number 5, durch Internet bekommen wir viel Informationen. Here the student correctly wrote the preposition durch by identifying it as an instrument or as a method to associate the noun Informationen with the noun Internet. Here we have the verb bekommen, which means to get. Now, in number 6, der Dieb kommt durch das Fenster. Here the student correctly understood that we have the noun Fenster and the verb kommt, which means to come, and writing the correct preposition durch, and we know that das, the article for Fenster, remains das in accusative, which is correctly mentioned here. So, the student wrote the correct answer. Here this word der Dieb means a thief. So, the student correctly understood the context and wrote the correct preposition. So, you can see that if you know the meaning and the context of the preposition, you can understand and do the exercise also in a better manner. So, I hope in this session you were able to understand the context and the meaning of prepositions, and also you were able to understand how certain accusative prepositions function. We did prepositions like für, durch and ohne, and as you can see, all these prepositions have their specific meanings in specific contexts. Please revise these prepositions on a regular basis, and also please do not forget to revise the contents of the previous session. Only if you know the article and the plural form of the nouns as well as the singular form, you will be able to understand and learn the prepositions in a better manner. So, please keep revising, and as I always say, auf Wiedersehen, tschüss.